Hi. S- Sorry, I just don't know how to start this video up. Um, this is something I'm not used to, but I still wanted to do it anyway. Just me, my mic, and my thoughts. First of all, I'm glad that you click on this video, but this will not be a wholesome or sweet video. This is a serious talk about mental health. So I'm sorry in advance for those who are not comfortable to listen to some trauma dumping, I guess, about this subject. So I'm giving you guys a chance to click off the video now. Alright. Well, for those who are still here, um, enjoy, I guess. So here's my story. If you don't know me already, my name is JonYaBoy, just a small content creator as a hobby. And it's been 11 years since I've been diagnosed of general anxiety disorder. Now, what is anxiety? Hell if I know. Although, according to Google, it is a mental condition characterized by excessive fear of or apprehension about real or perceived threat, leading to altered behavior and often physical symptoms such as increased heart rate or muscle tension. I guess it's a good definition, but I don't. I feel like everyone who deals with this mental health are feeling in a different way. So the goal of this video is just to tell how anxiety has affected my life and just being honest about some part of my life before and after I've been diagnosed of this mental health condition. So maybe my voice will get shaky at times. Maybe there will be some crying as well, but I'll try my best to be I'll try my best to be neutral, but I can't promise anything. Because yeah, up until now, all the intro was scripted, but from now on, this is gonna be just me, just talking on a whim like that. So, get ready. So I think I can start by talking about my childhood, I guess, because I feel like that's how everything started, I guess, if I can say that. I've been a victim of bullying a lot. I think I went through all my elementary school being bullied by older people and also younger people, as far as I can remember, because I do remember the older siblings of my classmates bullying me, and I can remember as well some younger student who were also a little bit aggressive or violent against me, because to this day I still can't figure out why I was the target for everyone to bully. But I really felt like I was the only one getting bullied. Maybe there were other people who were getting bullied, but as far as I can remember, I don't think so. And sadly, that there were a lot of things that happened during that time, and I still remember to this day some of the bullying that I endured during that time. For those who don't know, I'm from Canada, and well, in Canada and during winter there's a lot of snow. I remember one winter, a younger children threw a chunk of ice right in my face, like a chunk of ice. I would probably say as big as a watermelon, maybe. Yeah, stuff like that. I remember getting injured because I was playing hockey cousin, which is basically hockey but in a gymnasium. I received a one of the older students there stick right in my face as I was a goaler, and I still have my teeth cut in half to this day. And I do remember that he was also like in charge, because it was during the weekend, if I remember well. He was in charge of the gymnasium, and he just bullied me away. So this is probably one of the few things that I remember. There were a lot of other things as well. I remember when I was going to school with the school bus, there were a lot of people who were also bullying me on the way to school and on the way back from school. It was very, very difficult for me to live through that, and I still can't remember to this day. Well, I still can't figure why I was that person. Also, a little fact about me is that I'm a Aboriginal people, like one of those native people who were in America before all the colonization had happened in the past. So when I finally got to high school, I met some new friends over there that were originally Canadian, like white people. I hate to say that, but it will make sense with what I'm about to say. So, when I was in high school, because I had those white friends, the people from my elementary school / village were saying that I'm not a real native person because I had white friends. I still don't know what were happening in their head, but funnily enough, those new friends that I made in high school, like I said, they are still friends with me, and they are still very, very friendly with me, and they love me for the person that I am. But those people who are my own people were always after me for no reason at all. And I guess that because of my childhood that I had with all those people bullying me, I think this is why I am a introverted person, because I always loved to be by myself when I was growing up. I never went to play outside with the other kids. I was always at my home doing my own stuff, playing with my toys or video games or stuff like that. I was always at home. The only time that I ever got out of my home was to play hockey, sports in general, and also play some music, learn the violin for as a musical instrument. Those were the only time that I ever got out of my home, because, well, what was the point of going out when I was gonna be bullied for whatever reason when I was out of my home? So yeah, those new friends that I made in high school were are still very precious to me to this day, because I can almost say they were my first friends, and I don't think I'll ever change my way of thinking about them for that. So when I finally left my mom's house to go to another city and study, I wanted to be a social worker at the time, and I did try to finish my first semester, but I couldn't because I guess this is where the general anxiety disorder has been officialized, I guess, because this is where I started to realize that there was something wrong with me. Like very, very wrong. I couldn't live. I couldn't live at all. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. I couldn't live at all. I was going to school, but my my body was not having it at all. I couldn't sleep. I probably had like 2 or 3 hours of sleep per night, and whenever I woke up, I went in the bathroom and throw up, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. Like I didn't go to my classes because well I was not feeling well for several days, and I just didn't know what was happening with me. Like I guess I guess I was very shocked by all the changes, and also a new city and new school and everything like that. And I yeah, I couldn't live at all. I still remember I still remember when I called my mom one day, and just hearing her voice was comforting for me. And then she asked me, "Are you okay?" And I straight up cried and I said, "No, I don't know what's happening with me. I can't go to school. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I don't know what's happening with me." So, several weeks later, I finally got my appointment with my doctor, explaining all that was happening with me at this time. And this is where she diagnosed me with general anxiety disorder, which is fine because I guess I had an idea why I was like this at the time. But at the same time, I don't know. It's still hard to grasp the idea that maybe I'm not normal, I guess. So after my appointment with my doctor, I've been prescribed to anti-depression medication to help my body to with these well the this mental health issue that I had. It took a while to finally be to finally be able to live, actually, because I still remember that I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep at all for months. I was tired, I was hungry, but I couldn't eat because whenever I ate, I immediately threw it up because anyway, uh I still remember that day when I was finally able to eat. It was such a great feeling. I remember that I was very, very happy about it. And I, I still remember a couple of weeks after when I started to eat because I was eating, yes, but it wasn't like I wasn't eating at my hunger. I was, I was eating like little stuff every now and then, like fruits, pastas, and stuff like that. So when I finally got to eat junk food without throwing up with my friends, I was so happy. I remember that. So while this was all happening, I also dropped off of school because, well, what's the point of going to school if I'm not able to attend to any classes? So I tried to work to pay my rent and stuff like that. I first started in the office work. I didn't like it, so I immediately went to get a new job, and this is where I started to work in restoration. And to this day, I'm still in this industry because I don't know. I just like the vibe of it, and it's kind of hard to believe that an anxious person would like to work in a restaurant, but for once, my head was empty. Like, not empty as sadness, empty as I'm not hearing any voices going through my head. And I think this is where I really, really click in in a work setting. So to this day, I'm still working in restoration. I also went to study for restaurant management, and I'm right now I'm working in a restaurant, a French bistro in in the city where I'm currently where I'm currently living. And anxiety is still part of my life to this day, and it is in and off, actually. Like, there are times where I won't need my medication, but there are also times where my medication is recommended because my body has its little symptoms sometimes. And it's hard living under anxiety. The best way that I could explain how anxiety works on me is just that constant voice in my head asking me, am I worth enough? Am I doing this right? Why are you doing this? Why? Why? There's always something pushing you back when you think that you are good enough for something. And like I said, it still affects me to this day, even in my work setting, because there are times where anxiety just takes over, and I call off at work because my body is just immobilized about the thought of going to work. And it's hard. It's very hard. It's hard to ignore that little pressure, well, that enormous pressure on you that you are self-inflicting to yourself, thinking that you're not good enough for something, that maybe someone else is better than you are, or that maybe everyone hates you for some reason that you are not aware of. But there's always something behind your back telling you that you are not good enough. This is how I feel every single day. So this is how anxiety works on me. I'm sure there are people out there who have the same, who passed through all the same events that I did to get to that point in their life, that is feeling this anxiety in a different way that I am. But this is how I am with my anxiety. And it's hard sometimes. Well, all the time, actually, but sometimes you just gotta take it like a champ, right? and just try to ignore this pressure on you and live on. So, here's my story on how anxiety affects me. I hope you enjoy it, and for those who are still here, thank you for listening to this video. I know it's not my kind of video that I usually post. I tend to be on the posting more ASMR RP stuff, but since I was doing a marathon, I thought that maybe doing this kind of video during it was a way for me to to lead to a new direction in my channel, because I wanted to do this. I wanted to tell my story to make people feel learn about mental health issues, or even people who are having these mental health issues to have someone else tell their story, to feel so they feel less alone in this world. And that also battling with mental health issues such as anxiety disorder or depression or anything related to that can be quite a hard challenge, and a long one as well. Like I said, it's been 11 years since I've been diagnosed of anxiety, and there has been some ups and downs in my life because of that. So, for those who are having some mental health issues, I really, really hope that my story made you feel somewhat less alone in this battle that you're having, and I really hope that one day we will be delivered from this. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.